Yes, we could switch over. Right, so we finish one and we go on to the other one. Very good. You hear that? You hear that pig?
Yes, man.
Yeah. So let's get to that question that was sent to me while I was driving coming here. Question was asked. While I was having sex, I smell a different smell coming from my girlfriend's vagina. What's that? Now, look how ridiculous this person is. Denzel, I'm not there. What is that different smell from your girlfriend's vagina? What do you mean by that? And then he says, good afternoon, sir. She explained that while she was on her period, she used an intimate body wash, and that when she noticed a change in scent. Well, I don't know what scent you're talking about, how it smells, if it smells worse, better, if it smells flowery. What? You have to describe that. But I'll tell you something. There's a whole industry out there. A whole industry that was created over the last 20 to 25 years on the false premise that you've got to use a lot of different things on your vagina, inside your vagina, and the penis. But more so the woman. What they catch the woman with, they caught the woman with their period. They design something for women to use, which was called a pad. And then from that, they designed something that they could use also called a tampon. But then they realized that they could have put a chemical in the tampon that could cause you to have a longer period. So, of course, they use that. So women would have a period not for 3 and 4 days, but it extended from 4 to 7 days, sometimes 9 days.
Is that right?
Of course. Read up on it. It's there, the information is there. So the longer women have their period, and now they'll sell you a pack of tampons with 6. But knowing that you'll have a period for 7 days or 9 days. So you have to buy 2 packs. So you understand where the money-making thing comes in. So then they decided, here what? When women have their period, most women don't have sex, but they're horny. So let's give them something that they can wash out their vagina and have sex. So they made a feminine wash. While you're on your period, you can wash out your vagina and have sex. Caught on. So I say, wait, we catch them again, boy. So let's do something else. Let's tell them that they must wash their vagina with a special wash or a douche. Douche start to sell off the handle, man. Wait. Sales. Same company say, well, wait a minute. Women so gullible. They're really so gullible. We get them to buy things that they don't need because all kind of fancy ads and things go into it, and they start telling you about what you need to do, not knowing that you're creating more harm than good to your own body. Because the more you wash out the vagina, the more you change the flora of the vagina. So you can get infection easily. Then they come up with the next plan. Let's make women feel that their natural discharge, where the vagina is secreting or cleaning itself out, is not a good thing. So let's make a panty shield and sell them that. So women start to buy panty shield by the pack. Women who never wore panty shield before start to wear panty shield. And their excuse is that it have to absorb whatever is coming out of them. But of course the panty has a lining to do that. But then women start to wear a string as a panty. There was one string going up into the vagina and that's it. That's a string, The triangle goes in front of the vagina, The string actually goes in the vagina. So here they're saying, well, here what? But if they use their head and they realize that the string that goes up into the vagina, that string also passes over the anus. And bacteria from the anus could travel down that string and go into the vagina and give you an infection very easily. So all these different practices that took place over the last 25 years has caused much more infection in women. And of course, the same company makes something for vaginal infection, knowing fully well that when you wear a panty shield, you're blocking off the vagina from breathing, and it does breathe. Air has to pass over the vagina. So you're stifling the vagina, and you're going to get a change in the pH balance, and you're going to get an infection. So you're using the panty shield that they tell you must use, but they're also selling you the product that you're going to have to use because you have a yeast infection or a bacterial infection. You see the racket in this thing?
Yeah.
Biggest racket it have out. Because ask any man who has smegma on his penis, what you call cheese, and you just simply wash that out with water, it changes the smell, because once it is exposed to the air, there's a change in smell. That creates a smell. You wash it out with plain water, and that's the end of that. But they're even making men feel that you must use a special soap to wash out your penis. And there are men who fall for that. There are men who seek out that special soap that they have to wash their penis with this to give it this nice smell, not realizing that it could also cause an infection in your partner. But the biggest racket is among women, selling them product that they don't need and they don't use, they're not supposed to be using. All these feminine wash and feminine douche and feminine panty shield and this, that, and the other, you're not supposed to be using that. So they're ripping you off. And these companies are making a ton load of money.
Yes, they are.
Because women have their periods every month. Women have their periods every month. You have 700,000 women in Trinidad and Tobago, 500,000 of which, or 550,000 or 600,000 of which are at that age where they'll see their period. Then you have those who went through menopause, but they're still telling you, here, what all you went through menopause, use a special wash. You must not wash your vagina out with regular water. Go and get a douche. Use all these fancy things. So it's a big racket.
Yeah.
Biggest racket there is
Yeah.
when it comes to sex and those things.
Of course.
Hi, Raj. What do you recommend for male 35 to boost sex drive you have available for sale at your office? There are many products that you could use, but if you're having a problem with erection, libido, drive, feelings, it means something else is wrong. And you should always get that checked out first. There's a wonderful product called EE, Erectile Enhancer, EE, that works for anyone, but it's not a cure-all. It's natural, it's all natural. It works very well, but it's not a cure-all. What you have to do is find the root cause of your problem and deal with it from there.
Your mental
Faculty, capacity,
Yeah.
that affects it, of course. Well, I think somebody's asking if I made the switch. Yes, I did. So you should be able to see the switch.
You can call us, people, 222-8255 and 612-8255. Come in on the conversation live. Sexplosion with Dr. Raj.
Contribute something also. Ask a question.
Yeah.
Questions are meant to be answered here, especially things of a adult nature or sexual nature.
Yes, that's so true. The use of these sex toys and things is being bandied around. Is that worthy of use?
To use a sex toy? Of course, there are many different reasons for using a sex toy. One is, of course, pleasure. Another is comfort. A third one is therapeutic. And the fourth one for medical reason.
No side effects.
Like everything else, if used properly, there's no side effects. There's no detrimental side effects. You could become dependent on it, yes. Because you may like the hum, you may like the vibration or the power of the vibration, and that may be the only thing that will give you an orgasm. Some guys like the feel of the artificial vagina, and they like it better than the real vagina.
Yeah.
So yes, you could become dependent on it, like everything else. But it wouldn't cause you any harm.
Right.
There's no harm with it, but there's harm with using a vegetable. There's harm with using something that not meant to be. For example, if you take a piece of wood, which was done in the past, and create a dildo out of it.
Yeah.
Wood is porous, you know, and it absorbs bodily fluid. So bacterial will form, and you could reinfect yourself or infect yourself. So you have to be very careful with that. You cannot use an object that you have made or picked up, or just go and get, you buy it in the market or something and say, I'm going to use that.
Good evening, welcome.
Well, if you were listening to the program, you would have known. I'm fine, how are you? Happy to hear that. You feel like you're on top of the world? Why is that?
Good. Because, I have my children, my great-grandchildren, and all of them. Over the weekend, they was by me. We had a very nice time and whatnot, and, So I feel very good to know the little one, the big one, and so it goes, right? And this is what makes me very happy, right? So I hear you were talking about a job. Hello?
Yeah,
we're
listening.
listening to you.
The job is, if you're doing a job, right? In Hindustani, they call it seva.
Seva, yes.
Seva is, regardless of what you do it not for yourself alone, but you're doing it for the help of God. Seva. And that will help you in your endeavor, in your entire life. You buy something, you see a child, you give a child something to eat. You buy something and you give a child. You see somebody hungry, you buy something for them to eat. That is seva. Okay?
I know what a seva.
Huh?
I am well aware of what a seva. I do that all the time.
Yeah?
I live my life on that principle,
Yeah.
Seva is what you do for humanity, what you do for others, not what you do for yourself, without looking for any reward.
I'll just tell you one thing. I went to Rio and I met three children, and the parents and them, they're very poor people.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them, money does not mean anything. I give you, arguably, I say, do you have groceries? No. I say, okay, good, fine. I call my nephew, I say, take this lady and go to the grocery and buy grocery for her. He went, he buy some amount of dollars in grocery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he come back. Yesterday, I went to Ratan in Chagonas,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought shirts and what have you, shirts and shoes and jockey shorts, and, I asked the lady to help me because I am not too familiar to buy girl clothes, huh?
Uh-huh.
And the lady bought, get some girl clothes and whatnot, some skirts and some underwear and bodies and what have you and so on. I said, look, don't forget, I want to get 3 pajama suits, huh? 2 for boy and 1 for girl. And yesterday I just leave and I went up road. I said, look, I tell me nephew, I said, look, let's go to Rio. And I went and I dropped this thing. And those children, and the parents and them, they feel so happy that if, like if I say, no, I'm not I'm a great-grandfather. And I like to see people do well. Right? So this is what you hear. You have to do things not for yourself. You don't care about your own self alone, but you have to care for others. And I agree upon this.
Well, that's a fact. That is what Seva is all about. That's a fact. So you need to do that, but you need to also propagate that with others. Let them see what you're doing. Let them know what you're doing in that way, so that they get on board.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think between the three of us here, we have done our part. But what about the others?
Well, you see, again, this is what you hear a lot of people. This is mine. You can't get up.
Nothing you own, you know.
Huh?
You see, when people say this is mine and that is mine, they must understand that you own nothing, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I was telling somebody, a lady, what it was. I say, she's, you married us, I've been a married man, but my wife passed away and what have you. She said, my husband owned me, I said, go back and tell him he don't own you.
Well, if she's thinking that way, it's because he putting that in her head.
Yeah.
And there are some persons who think that you own your wife, you own your children, you own your cat, you own your dog.
Yeah.
But anytime you want to know about ownership, get a cat. And see if you own that cat or that cat own you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
A cat will sit around and watch you and you calling that cat by its name and you're watching you so.
Yeah.
You don't own that. So you cannot own a person, but we always want ownership. And we want ownership of money. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We are just keepers of those things.
Exactly.
It was loaned to you,
Yeah.
right? And I always use a car as example. You buy a brand new car today, it's yours, and you say, this is my car, right? And you treat it real good. And 3 years down the line, you sell it. Whose car is it now?
All right. I just giving you one instance. Our Prado park in my garage right now. A Prado.
Uh-huh.
And it has
You're typical Indian. You're typical Indian, or a Rado and a Prado. I say you're typical Indian, a Rado and a Prado.
A Prado.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
And I had 2 Toyota vehicles on his other side. They walking, all walking. And then my nephew and them, they don't want that. They went and they buy other new fashion one. I say, okay, leave this one here. Well, I negotiating now to take the two Toyota, the small one and the big one, the crown, and give it to one of my neighbor or somebody, because I really, I find the yard too congested, man. I just take it and get away, because I have no need for that.
Okay, thank you, Lachman. Thank you, Lachman. So we share and we show how much we care.
Well, that's important thing in society, for people to do that, for you to be able to show your humanity in many different ways. Sometimes I align in, I don't even want to talk about these things. And I see somebody buying something and they can't afford it, I pay for it, I do it. It's no big deal. Once I have the money in my pocket, I do it.
Yeah. I've done many.
Yeah, you see when you do those things, and again, it's not. You're not doing it for. I don't care if the person tell me thanks or nothing. I just do it and I go on my way. No, I don't do it for rank. I'm not doing it for that. I just do it. It's just natural in me to do it.
Exactly.
Because I like doing those things, and I think that it is my way of saying I am a human being.
Of course.
And I understand your plight.
It's a way of giving back.
Yeah. Give back to society in any way you could.
Yeah. It's important. Call us at 222-8255 and 612-8255. We're talking sex and sex education here. Raj, you were talking about these toys that people use and things.
Yeah, so there's a false perception about the use of toys. People think that it's only women who use toys. There are men that use toys. And when you think about the comfort aspect of it, there are many men out there who don't want to go into a relationship. They don't want to romance someone. They don't want to spend the time and effort or the money to do that.
Maybe they're going through some sort of a sacrificial process.
School, religion. So what they do is they masturbate, but they use a toy to masturbate. You have artificial vaginas, you have sleeves, you have different things that you can use. You can even buy a doll. All those things are considered to be adult toys. Now, any person who buy an adult toy is not going to use it in the public.
I know. Well, that's some, might be a very few, but...
Very, very few. Very few. That is, it's like the mentally ill person who will masturbate in public or urinate in public.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
of course, the majority of Trinidadians like to urinate in public, which is another nasty thing.
Yes.
That is not being patriotic at all. And the first thing is to say, oh God, I can't keep up. But why do you have to stop on the highway where hundreds of cars are passing for you to whip out your penis and pee on the highway? Why couldn't you pull in a side road? You can't tell me you want to pee now and you stop immediately to pee. You will know before if you want to pee.
Good evening and welcome. Hello?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yes, hello?
We hear you.
Oh, right. Sorry, guy. I wasn't hearing you too clearly.
Yeah.
First time caller, definitely
Welcome,
not a first time listener.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So good night, everyone. Just going back to your statement about, feeling a sense of pride and patriotism, Dr. Raj. Just like you, a couple of years ago, I was in Miami, and, you're going through the malls, and these guys, they're trying to sell you all kind of stuff. And the guy approached, and he's like, hey, you want to buy XYZ? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I said, wait, you're from Trinidad? Immediately he knew we were from Trinidad. And I said, yes. He said, no, I can't miss that accent anywhere.
No, you can't miss a Trinidad accent
like
anyway.
I felt proud.
Yeah. And one thing I'll tell you, no matter where I am in the world, I talk like a Trini.
Yeah, of course.
I talk like a Trini. Recently, a friend of mine asked me, she said, well, let me hear your accent when you're a winner. I said, I talk just like this.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, but that gives you a sense of pride because for them, they hear your accent, they say, but you are Trinidadian, but they know immediately. And that's a good thing. You make you feel, and that pride, you feel it.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that.
And just like you, littering, that's my
Pet peeve. My pet peeve. Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely.
When I see that, sometimes I just want to honk my horn. Sometimes I want to tell the person you're nasty.
Definitely. And tell them, go and take it up,
Yeah.
But you know what's happening? It's big people littering,
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's big old hardback man and woman doing it.
Yep.
Stopping by a traffic light and dropping out things from the car.
In the young children that this is the right thing to do. Do not litter.
That's right.
It has to start from the adults and the parents.
Yeah. My children, I remember when my children were growing up, anything they had to throw, I said throw it on the floor. When we reach home, we'll clean it up. If there's not a bag, there's always a bag in my car for garbage.
Yep. All right, guys, well, you take care.
Yeah, man. You take care. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, man. Happy independence, man.
Yeah, happy independence. But that goes to show you, as a person, what you... Now, I sometimes think about, if that person does these things openly in the public, what they do in the privacy of their home?
I always imagine that.
They must be damn nasty, homeboy.
It pisses me off bad. Sometimes I'm heading south, like when I work on weekends or public holidays, and there'll be these excursion buses in front of me. And you have to be careful of your children.
Yeah, because you'll get, according to Paul Key Douglas, you can get hit with a roti. Three things he had on the Bible. Once you follow one of the bus, you can get hit with a roti, something on the Bible.
I don't like that at all. When you go downtown, it's an eyesore when you look at the Independence Square.
It's an eyesore all over.
Man.
Where's our sense of pride? Where's our sense of citizenship?
Yeah, it's crazy. But Raj, I was asking you about the sex toys.
Yeah, so sex toys, right. So there's this misdemeanor, misconception. People have their own ideas about things, but it is a therapeutic device.
Yeah.
that could be used in the comfort of your home, the privacy of your home. So you decide to whip out your toy and use it. You decide to whip out your doll and use it. You're using it in the privacy of your home. You're not harming anyone. As a matter of fact, it's a selfish act because you're doing it to yourself with yourself.
Right.
Now, there are couples who can use it as therapy in their relationship, to enhance their relationship, to make their relationship better. There's a device that attaches to your chin that could use to penetrate a woman while you're performing oral sex. So double pleasure. So there are many different things that you can use for pleasure, which are called adult toys. But adults don't use their toys in public as children do.
You know, I'm trying to get to a question where about the safety of it. I mean, people tend to copy in. A lot of people like to see an original thing and say, people buying up that.
Well, that is where the danger comes in.
Right, that is what I wanted to
You have a lot of devices out there.
Like better word, device.
Devices out there that are copy of the original that are made in China.
Yeah.
And from the time you smell it, you know not to put that anywhere near your body. Because it has a chemical residue that comes out of that, and it could burn your vagina or burn your penis. Discolor the area.
So how can I differentiate?
Oh, for you never smell it, you know.
So
It's sticky, it yucky, it smells like chemical. A real well-made dildo vibrator doesn't have a funny smell, it doesn't have a chemical smell, it doesn't burn you when you touch it. It doesn't do that. The Chinese one does that. Now I see some of the Chinese grocery, I think in Port of Spain have it. They're selling sex toys, and they can get it in easier. They have no problems.
Yeah.
They have no problems. One thing in this country, Chinese could get anything in the country.
Yes, we know that.
Even people. Even people. Even people. Without any problems.
So people who don't know, anxious, eager, have this mega urge, and just run into, let's say, one of these Chinese.
No,
stores,
you
right?
don't buy. Okay, you don't buy something like that from a non-recognized place.
When the heat of the moment, some people.
No, you don't buy them thing in the heat of the moment either. It's like going to buy groceries. You don't go to buy groceries on an empty stomach. You know that.
Yeah.
Never go to buy groceries on an empty stomach. You'll buy more than you need. Because you'll see all kind of things that you want to satisfy that hunger that you have immediately.
Yeah.
Whenever you go in grocery shopping, make sure you go on a full stomach. And that's scientifically proven. Never buy groceries on an empty stomach. And it's the same thing with going to buy a toy. If you need to buy a toy, first and foremost, know what you want the toy for. Is it something for you and your partner to use? Is it only for you to use? Is it for you to use with something else? Know exactly what you're doing and do your research. There's a lot of research that could be done for these things. And if you don't know how to do the research, go to a place where they will tell you what you should get. Now, I'll tell you something. Because of what is happening presently and what has happened in the past, we cannot carry the warranties that these products have. Right? We cannot have a refund on it. We cannot sell it cheaper than it's supposed to, than we could sell it, because we have to compensate for all the losses that we get.
Yeah.
So products that are being sold presently, if things are made easier, I can guarantee you it will be less than 50% of what is being sold now. I can guarantee that. And I keep telling people, I don't buy from no jobbers, and I don't buy from no person who buy in to sell over. I buy from the manufacturers. I deal directly with those who make the product. They give me special concessionary prices that nobody else could get because of who I am. My name have weight outside there. So the same product you see being sold today for $1,000, I can guarantee you I could sell that product for $500 less $1, $4.99. I could guarantee you that if things are made easier. But I'll tell you something. It is not sex toys that I'm fighting. What I'm fighting is for the right for individual to have their choice. And a person should not take it upon himself to determine what is right and what is wrong and go beyond the law. And that is what custom officers have been doing for years. They go beyond the law. They make themselves a law unto themselves. And they determine what is right. And look how they contradict themselves. If you read the articles, they say it's up to the officer to determine whether it's indecent or not. That tells you, take that call. It tells you that they are law unto themselves.
Good evening, welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Raj and company.
Yes.
Good night to all.
Yeah.
Good evening.
You bring up a nice topic there, Raj. You see that garbage? It makes you sick.
Of course it does.
Now, I living up near the ground, the recreation ground. I go and clean up the ground all of that. I picking up garbage side of the road. Now I buy my bag $2.50 for a bag. And you can't put anything in garbage bag, you go, boss.
Correct.
So I pick up 2 bags of garbage and put it side the road. You know this person pick up the bag and throw it directly in the drain? I hold up. That discouraged me, that pissed me off, man. So I hold up there for a while now. I don't know when I will start back. Because I'm spending my money.
Don't let the person piss you off. Just know that person is a disgusting, nasty person. That's all.
Yeah, you bring me to the level.
Yeah. So just leave that person alone and you do what you have to do, yeah? Because when I see those things, it is the same thing that's happened to me, and I just put them out of my thought.
Yeah, near the school, I just go and clean up around the school, all kind of thing, boy. Yeah, the people working in the school, they go sit down there for 5 hours and get paid for 7 hours. They go walk around the school for 2 hours.
Well, that is another thing about being patriotic, you know. There are too many individuals in this country who get a salary they don't deserve, you know.
Plenty, most.
They're stealing, you know. And they're the ones who want to stand up and beat their chest and say other things, you know. But it's stealing, you know. If you go to work and you're supposed to start work at 8 and you get to work at 8:15 and you have to have something to eat, you sign in at 8, eh? You get there at 8:15, you sign in at 8, you have to go and use the toilet, you have to go and do this, you have to go and do that. And when you start work is 9 and by 2 o'clock you lock off. You're stealing from the company. You're stealing from the country.
Right.
Yes.
I'm the same culture with you, you know.
I tell people that all the time. Anytime you lock off before and leave before, no, a one-off thing is not a big deal.
No.
Because sometimes there's a staff member will come to me and say, boss, could I leave 3 o'clock today? I'll say, no problem, there's nothing for you to do, you go ahead.
Yeah.
Right? I do that. I understand that, but don't give me the culture of locking off at 2 o'clock or 2:30, packing your bag and sitting down and waiting.
Yeah.
You're stealing. You're not patriotic.
Only watching your clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have a worker watching clock, go home, you know. Sit down and watch the clock home.
Of course.
Yeah. I come back for tea.
Sit down and watch the clock at home. All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Let me take a break, guys. A lot of commitment here. The Cascadia Water Slides located at the Cascadia Hotel St. Anne's are open all day tomorrow, Independence Day, the holiday, Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Admission $50 for everyone. Give them a call at 768-0567 for more details.
It's the final extension of India in Style Expo. Yes, India in Style Expo at the Big Tent opposite Center of Excellence, Mokoya is definitely closing on September 2nd. Everything must sell. Get up to 80% off. Brand new goods with the latest variety of ready-made garments, handicraft, footwear, jewelry, religious items, and much more. Indian restaurants and refreshments. Links and credit card accepted. Don't miss out on your last chance to visit India in Style Expo at the Big Tent opposite Center of Excellence, Mokoya. Remember, only 2 more days remaining.
Hey, Olia, independence in the park. Independence in the
Yeah,
park.
man, I'm sorry. I don't know why we don't do that
Girl, I said
Come celebrate life. Let's celebrate 56 years of independence.
Tickets are out now. General 150, 201 females, $200. Very limited. For tickets and
Everything is
information,
last.
contact 728-5511
I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you for the invite.
Hey, for the crew anywhere, for the doorstep, check out Tower Profile Tickets and Eastside.
So why don't you sell
August
those who
31st,
sell it in
10
plastic,
p.m.
lower
to 4
plastic?
a.m. We transform the ballpark to bring
stop
you
selling it.
greatest vibes ever. Independence in the park.
And when we say Ball packing, know we talking about, right? Formerly known as the Marvin Lee
Banding a
Stadium.
product
All
coming
star
plastic.
DJ cast,
What do you do with
Independence Night, the top DJs in the
Why don't you
country
tell him
coming to
Rocket Club?
celebrate.
Independence in the park. Celebrate life. We celebrate moments.
Ball pack, Independence Night.
Looking for the coldest beers in Central? A best line any day of the week? Well, you need to head to Ramlal's Bar, number 18, Mile Marker, Tamaki Road, Williamsville. Bring your friends, pull a chair, and enjoy the good vibe. Safe parking and best prices around. Ramlal's is the place to be. For more info, call 740-7922. Ramlal's Bar for the best line.
Just my size is the haven for full-figure girls. We're located 11 Eastern Main Road, Tulapuna. There we have tops, dresses, jewelry, costume jewelry, hot Beyonce style. Where you going for the plus size diva girls?
You know what
Just my
there's a bin here and you're throwing rubbish.
It's the final extension of India in Style Expo. Yes, India in Style Expo at the Big Tent opposite Center of Excellence. Macoya is definitely closing on September 2nd. Everything must sell. Get up to 80% off. Brand new goods with the latest variety of ready-made garments, handicraft, footwear, jewelry, religious items, and much more. Indian restaurants and refreshments. Links and credit card accepted. Don't miss out on your last chance to visit India in Style Expo at the Big Tent opposite Center of Excellence, Macoya. Remember, only 4 more days remaining.
Kick the ball at Ramesh and Leela to win free groceries weekly. Shop, shoot, score, and win. For every purchase over $500, 3 weekly customers get a chance at our penalty shootout. Score the goal and win your groceries free. Use your value discount card and double your chances. Come shop at the #1 store on the corridor for great savings and weekly chances at free groceries this summer. Only at Ramesh and Leela. Competition runs from June 11th to September 2nd.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
All right, Sexplosion continues right here at Power 102.1 FM. Dr. Raj, remember you're taking your calls at 222-8255 and 612-8255. Don't be afraid to join in on the conversation. We're talking about clean up the place, clean up our country.
But if you don't clean your environment, and you don't keep your environment clean when you're outside, how do you keep your home?
Well, that makes me wonder.
How do you
Sometimes
keep yourself?
I look at people in entities where you go to the kitchen and it's loaded with dirty wares. I mean, another thing that you came from home and you use the stove and cook. The sink filled with teacup, plate,
for days,
spoon, and it means that somebody
pile up there for days.
They drank a cup of coffee or something and they put it in the sink. Somebody have to wash that. I wonder if they do that at home. You know, well, if you should draw that analogy to how people keep their self.
Well, yeah.
Is another thing.
Well, that's what I say. How do you keep yourself?
Yeah, you can imagine that.
So someone says, shed some light on polycystic ovaries and pregnancy. Polycystic ovaries are a serious problem that we're having. And
Explain what that big word means, Dr. Raj.
I'm getting there.
Yes.
Polycystic ovaries is the body has a cyst. Either it's in the fallopian tube, it's somewhere between the vagina, the inside of the vagina, the womb, and the fallopian tube. Now, why do you get polycystic ovaries? Women are born with a certain number of eggs. These eggs are released monthly, matures and released monthly. Some women releases egg during that period, outside of the monthly cycle. Those eggs are normally reabsorbed by the body and destroyed. If it's not properly reabsorbed by the body, the release of the eggs from the ovary, that's where the eggs are stored. It matures there and it is released. The release of the egg, if it's not properly absorbed, it forms a cyst. Now when a cyst is formed, it attaches itself to the body, whatever part, wherever it forms. And that starts to draw nutrients from you. Now, a woman with polycystic ovaries could get pregnant, but there's a battle with keeping the pregnancy because you have something that is drawing nutrients from the body that is growing, and you have a fetus that is growing. But this is attached to the body. The fetus is in the womb. Sometimes it wins out. It depends on where the cyst is at, the size of the cyst, how many cysts you have. There are women with many cysts around the ovaries. There are women with some cysts around the ovaries. Some cysts are large, some cysts are small. Some cysts, you have to go and do an ultrasound to find out how many cysts you have. Sometimes it might be on one side. There are women who have had to have their ovaries removed because of polycystic ovaries. It's a partial hysterectomy, what you call a partial hysterectomy. A full hysterectomy.
Can they be hidden within that area?
Of course. There are cysts that are hidden.
Wouldn't pick up and stuff?
Well, yes, to a lesser extent, no to a greater extent. Because once the ultrasound is done properly, by a trained person, it shows up. Because they will know what the angles and what things to do, how to press and what areas to press. Now, if you're having intercourse and you're getting pain on either the right side or the left side of your vaginal area, around the navel, but just before the navel, you know that you have polycystic ovaries. There's certain position that you feel pain when you're having intercourse. There's certain discharge that you get when you have polycystic ovaries. And of course, your bleeding lasts much longer. And there are a lot of women also who have polycystic ovaries, and sometimes they go from, supposed to be from period date to period date, but they have bleeding right through. So polycystic ovaries is a very challenging thing for some women. They don't feel comfortable. They're unable to have a good sex life because of that, because of the pain and discomfort and the odor and all those things associated with it. Of course, you have a bad odor with it. That's another thing with polycystic ovaries. So it needs to be treated. We treat that at the Adult Therapy Center. That's one of the things that we do. And we use natural ways of treating it. More than likely, if you go to any health institution or any doctor to have it treated, they'll give you tablets that diabetics are supposed to use for the side effects of the drug, which is not good. You should never use a drug for side effects.
What creates these cysts to develop, Raj?
That's what I'm telling you. When your body releases releases the egg, and it's not reabsorbed.
Oh, okay.
So it stays there and it forms a cyst.
Oh.
It forms a cyst.
How long it takes before it gets a real impact on your health?
Some women have cysts on their ovaries for years and it doesn't impact on their health because it's not growing. It's not causing any harm to them. Some women, within a month, they start to feel pain and discomfort and have heavy bleeding and all those things. So it all depends on the woman.
Visible swellings and stuff?
Not so much visible swelling, but of course tenderness of the area. And again, when it comes to sexual intercourse, certain position is very painful. Those who have swelling, of course, one of the things that you find is that if a woman is overweight, she tends to have polycystic ovaries more. And that you don't want to be overweight when you have polycystic ovaries. So that becomes a challenge.
Good evening and welcome.
Hi, Dr. Raj. Good evening.
Good evening.
Dr. Raj, I find that while having sex on mornings, when my libido is high, or when I'm relaxed, I enjoy it most of all. First, I'd like you to comment on that. And secondly, if I am traveling at any point of entry, Trinidad or otherwise, and my sex toy is being questioned or seized or questioned, what do I do? I'm waiting on your response. Please, thank you very much.
Oh, you can't do anything. Take the charge and go your way.
Yeah, or just
the custom officers are law unto themselves. It's a judgment call by the officer, whether he or she finds it indecent or not. And that alone proves the point I've been making for years. There is no law to govern it. Because they themselves have said that it's up to the officer to make that judgment call. So if you're making a judgment call, you're not doing anything based on law.
So
you're doing something based on feelings.
Dr. Raj, back in the days when I heard about the negative list, there's still a negative list?
No, there's no negative list in any country. No.
So what makes it negative?
Let me don't go into that. When I am finished in court with them, everything will be revealed to everyone. Okay? I am taking the forefront. I have the testicular fortitude to do it. I have the balls to do it. Nobody else does. And everybody riding my back. So continue to ride my back. And not one person is going to take out $1 from the pocket and say, yeah, Dr. Raj, hold that for your legal fees. Not that I'm asking you, I'm just telling you the nature of human beings. And of these people, they call Trinidadians. Everybody. I have people who have stores. Not one of them raising their voice. Not one of them one of them called me. The other one, she back out. Making some kind of excuse. I say, you just ride in my back?
Some people are afraid to get in.
Well, if you're afraid to get it, why are you selling it? Why are you importing it? So don't give me that excuse. That's a stupid excuse. If you tell me you're afraid to get involved, well, why are you selling it? Why are you importing it?
A lot of big girls like to play mass and afraid powder.
Well, exactly. So don't try to ride my back. So to answer his first question, what was his first question? Why do he get a morning erection and enjoy intercourse better in the morning? Because you have a stronger erection in the morning. Your testosterone is higher in the morning. Once you have gotten a full night's sleep, your testosterone is at optimum in the morning. And that's why intercourse during the morning period, or intercourse when you have a morning erection, not a pee stand. There's no such thing as a pee stand, because if there were a such thing as a pee stand, every time you wanted to pee, you would have a stand. So these things that we tend to say that, oh, I got a pee stand. There's no such thing as a pee stand. It's a morning erection. When you get a morning erection, the sex is sweeter. There's more adrenaline flowing. There's more dopamine being released by the brain because of the level of testosterone.
People who like you say, can get pregnant with cysts and all that. Is it a healthy birth?
No. Sometimes it could lead to other things, so you have to be very careful.
And if the baby does survive, it can affect the baby in the long run?
No. It could affect the development of the fetus.
Okay.
Yeah. It saves marriages. We also have happier women. They better have, what is that? Leave that issue untouched. Angie, people don't understand this. And for over 25 years I've been fighting customs on this.
True.
Since 1984 till now.
Wow, I thought it was a brand new...
No, it's brand new now because WebSource sent out a circular which they have all right to do to their customers. But before in May of this year, I told customers taking them to court, because I was fed up with what they're doing. And the officer there told me, yes, please do, because we need directions on this. He actually said that, because we don't know what to do. We just do this on a whim and fancy. It's somebody waking up one morning, and if they feel a particular way, they say, okay, we're going to take away everyone and do whatever we have to do, or waking up the next morning and saying, well, I don't have a problem with that, whoever want to bring what, let them bring,
As you said, problem. Have you ever had any complaints about partners complaining about their partner using sex toys?
I've had one or two persons call the program and say that they feel threatened by it, and I ask them, why? Why? Would you feel threatened by a toy when you could use the toy together with your partner to bring about satisfaction to him or her, or you prefer the person who on you? Which one? Tell me. Answer the question.
Yes, true. You prefer your toy, you must.
Well, right. So if your partner is enjoying a toy because of the makeup of his or her anatomy, or because of their sexual drive, what's wrong with that? What harm is coming to them or you? You should be open-minded enough, and this is where when we talk about open-mindedness and whatnot, you should be open-minded enough to understand that there are particular instruments or devices that a person could use that you could never give them that pleasure. There are many men out there who don't know how to perform oral sex. They claim to do, and they don't know how to perform oral sex. There are many men out there who don't know how to find the G-spot in a woman. Despite the fact that I've been teaching that for the last 18 years. And there are devices that are designed to find the G-spot. There are devices that are designed to vibrate on the clitoris that no tongue could do. Unless you're versed in oral sex. If you're not versed in oral sex, you would not be able to cause that vibration or that feeling on the clitoris. So there are devices that will give a better blowjob than a woman. There are dolls that will give you better sex than a woman. Because they design, now they have virtual reality doll, where the doll know what you like and how to wind back at you, you know. They have VI dolls now, you know.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligent doll, you know. After you start talking to the doll talking back to you, you know. I'm serious.
I don't know that.
The doll will have sex with you and know what position you like and what to do for you, you know.
Well, I've been looking at robotic stuff. I like
Well, right.
that kind of stuff. And
That's part of artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
There are sex dolls so far advanced that they're better than a woman in bed, you know.
Come on, Raj.
I am serious. Because there's some women in bed, they lie down in bed and they just lie down like a log, you know. They don't know how to whine, they don't know how to make a sound, they don't know what to do, you know. And they don't give a damn about you, you know. The doll will still say, honey, I love you. Sounds funny, but it's the truth.
No, when I was looking at this documentary where, you know, in the Far East, they do a lot of, they're way advanced.
In Japan, have doll doing anything.
Yeah, well, I think it's some part of Japan where they were showing you going to this hotel. This guy went in and demonstrated the live documentary, like, because the guy came into the hotel, was speaking. I too did not believe was a robot he was talking to. And the
It will talk to you and talk back to you and give you everything.
And everything like a human being.
Everything.
And when he was done,
the first time I saw that was 7 years ago.
Yeah, he got
at the AVN show.
He got his key to go up. So you know the swipe
Yeah, swipe key.
And the people who were conducting the documentary and this kind of illustration, I should say, asked him how he felt. And if he knew he was talking to a robot, and he said, are you kidding me? That could never be a robot. And they took him back and dismantled the hand. And he was like, my God. I too, looking at it, was saying, that is where robots have gone to.
In Japan, they fire vans.
I don't doubt what you say.
No, well, let's put it this way. What kind of woman you like? What age you like? What do you want in her? You want big breasts? You want small breasts? You want blonde hair? You want black hair? You want green hair?
Whatever the menu is.
You want the vagina to be fat? You want the vagina to be thin? What do you want? You tell them what you want and they design a robot for you. It will cost you money, but they will design it to your liking. You want her to be very tall. You want her to be short. You want her to be Chinese looking. You want her to be Indian looking. You want her to be African looking. You just say. They will design it according to what you want. Pay the price. And with the long ago they used to put a recording in them. Now with the artificial intelligence, once you start talking to them, they pick up on what you're talking and they talk back.
Yes. I mean, you can talk to Google, and Google talks back.
Siri talks back to you.
Yeah.
So why can't a robot talk back to you?
Raja was blown away. Sometimes television helped me to go to sleep. That night I was more awake than anything else.
But I like looking at the companies that makes these, they make these advanced products that push these things. You know, I was reading something about Tesla. You know, Tesla makes an electric car.
Yeah. I know Tesla, yeah.
There is presently Elon Musk, the man who is in charge of Tesla, says that he's going to buy back all stocks when it reaches $450. And there's somebody who's predicting that very same stock is going to reach $4,000 soon because of how far advanced they are with robotics and artificial intelligence in cars.
Imagine that,
They are way ahead of the pack because that's what they concentrated on. Tesla is so far advanced in cars that their stock price is going to skyrocket very soon. Yeah, well, your car talking back to you. You don't talk to your car anymore. Your car will.
Imagine that.
Their cars that drives itself. You don't need to drive. You don't need to do anything.
Yeah, I've seen that also.
Well, right.
Boy, oh boy.
When you travel and you look at things outside of train, that's why, you know, somebody made the point. Every human being should travel to another country. Do you know why? It educates you so much and so fast. It's unbelievable.
I know.
When you travel and you step onto that plane, technology starts, things starts, and you start to see things. You start to learn. There's a learning process. Even going through a simple thing as immigration in Trinidad to get to the plane teaches you a lot. when you get to a foreign country and you see the advances they have. I remember the first time I went to Japan. That was in 1984, 85. End of 84 into 85. And I saw a car. In those days, the most popular high-end car in Trinidad, apart from Mercedes-Benz, was the Royal Saloon. Right. And I saw a Royal Saloon in Japan, where the windshield wiper will come on if water just spray on it. You know that is a normal thing in any car now.
Yeah, the other cars like that.
But this is 1984 into 85. And when I saw the technology in that, I went to Paris.
Yeah.
And I was checking out this Citroen. And I saw some of the technology that I said, my God. And that was then, eh? And those technologies second nature to cars in the turn of the century. Now it is so far advanced.
Yeah.
Whenever I travel, I take a rental car. I could take any rental car I want from the company. I could walk in here and take any car that they have. I play fast and I went and pick up this new car that they had in the lot. It only had about 10 miles on it. And there was no lever, no knob to turn, nothing. Everything was touch button. Now I had to try to figure out.
Yeah.
I can't remember the model because when I travel, this last 3 days I drove 3 different cars. I can't even tell. All I know, I remember I drove a Land Rover Discovery. That was the last one I drove, so I remember that one. But the other 2, I can't even remember what it is. But that thing is not important to me to remember that.
I know.
But this particular vehicle, I couldn't find out what to do. I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, okay, where is the lever to reverse? What do I do to reverse this bloody car out of this parking lot? And I had to try to figure it out. And then I saw, okay, I saw R, press that. Okay, yes. And everything was touch button and as a matter of fact, in one of the vehicles, for any time you put the vehicle into park, the handbrakes is applied. You don't have to pull no lever or touch anything.
On that same documentary where I told you about this robotics thing, it started off with those kind of cars.
Yes.
And they show you a guy just come out the car and park it that he was late for work.
Car park itself?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Decent park,
But the car will park better than you.
I tell you.
Because there are sensors to prevent it from hitting another vehicle.
Yes, yes.
But when you drive in, you disengage the sensors.
I tell you.
So you might hit the other car, but the car would not hit another car. I have seen that.
So right soon come, you're walking down Frederick Street, and like the talk and the ground are best thing. You don't show it.
You know, sure it is the best thing. Very soon that will happen. The best thing in your car might be a robot.
Oh my God.
We're laughing. You're laughing at this.
No, but I mean.
I could show you, I think I have it still on my phone. Photograph of 3 porn stars. Lifelike robots of them. With all working parts,
Oh my God.
And everything that they could do in a movie, it's programmed into them, that whatever they did in that particular movie, you could get her to do all that on you. And use the star boy and she's the star girl,
I even look at whatever material they use as skin.
Nah, that's cyber skin. Cyber skin is real. It's better than your skin. I have it. We sell it. We sell cyber skin toys. Cyber skin feels real.
Yeah.
It feels real. It's real. You touch it and it's like, wow. It's better than real skin.
Yeah, the guy went back. The scientist
And
hand.
you can feel the heat from it. There are toys, there are robotic toys for sex that will blow your mind. That will blow your mind, that you will not believe that this thing is so real. She looks so real. They're working men robots. Their belly penis don't go down,
I just thought that word though, because men could be in trouble.
But in the future, mankind will be in trouble. Very soon, in the next 20 years, mankind in trouble. I'm not a prophet of doom and gloom, but I'm telling you from what I am seeing and what I know and what I read and the philosophy and from Hindu philosophy. It is said In 20 years' time, mankind in real trouble. Real trouble. It ain't no end of the world, you know.
I know.
It's just that we will end.
Yeah. I believe that.
We will end.
Yeah.
But we in real trouble. The things to come. You can have virtual sex, you know that.
Explain that.
You wear a device around your eyes, over your ear. It's like a helmet, or it could be like one of those welding goggles. And you pull up whatever you want. The woman is there now in front of your eyes doing everything you want her to do. And you could hook up different devices to different part of your genitalia, and it tells you what to do, and you feel the nipples being sucked, you feel the penis. You feel all the sensation.
My God. Bro, I gotta do some traveling like you, man.
That's what I tell you. When you travel and the things that you see, it's mind-blowing.
I want to be able to differentiate the real human being from these things.
How would you?
Well, this is it. And I'm sure in an experience like the guy.
Let me tell you let me tell you one of the ways to know that. When it's too perfect and it's too good to be true.
Yeah. So,
When it's too perfect and it's too good to be true.
I tell you, when the scientists took back the guy to the reception where he felt good. I never see him whistling.
Yeah, happy man.
And he watching back at her, you know.
Yeah, because she's sexy and nice.
So they were laughing and it was an illustration. So they brought him back then. They said, you think this is real? They said, I mean, she's nice, she's this, and he described everything. He would spend some time with her, they might take her to lunch, all kind of thing. The guy took off the wrist. He took off the next wrist. You know, in case he felt what is that. This, that.
Prosthetic arm.
Yeah. So he said, no, he's sure it's a robot. The guy was... I can imagine how he was
I saw a movie recently
yeah.
where, I think I mentioned it to you. There was this war on Earth. And the people, there was these alien-looking things that came to kill the people, and they were killing people left, right, and center.
Yeah.
You know, the people were actually robots. And the alien-looking thing were actually people, human beings, in suits. And the people that they were killing are actually robots, artificial intelligence that took over the Earth. And ran human out of Earth.
Right.
And they were living on Mars. But they came back to take over the Earth.
Raj, I don't know.
And don't feel that is far-fetched, because I know in the 60s when people were looking at Star Trek and they saw a door slide open, shoops,
Beam
and a man do so, beam me up, Scotty. They said that is stupid, that could never happen.
Yeah. All those things.
Or they had a microwave to cook food.
Yeah.
Or they had three-dimensional chess. And all these different things, and they're like, nah, that can never, that is real.
Fiction.
Or you're talking to somebody on a screen,
Yeah.
and they're seeing them, and you hear the sound and all kind of thing, and that could never happen, man.
I was looking at Avengers with my grandson, and he's enjoying the thing, and he's into the superhero. But I was looking at the technology in producing this picture. I said, very soon we're going to experience that, just how we never thought it would have Star Wars. America is in full control of Star Wars. So, nothing goes beyond my imagination anymore.
No, it can't.
But I tend to feel surprised and marveled.
But that's why I tell people, every time you get that opportunity, if you ever get an opportunity to leave this country and go and visit another country, please do.
But I've left the country already, but those far countries like
No, you have
Japan.
to. You have to go to places where I'm not talking about going up the islands, you know.
Oh, okay.
We are far more advanced than they are. I'm talking about going to countries where they are advanced in technology, where they use things that we had dreamed to use yet.
I tell you, Raj, it's out of this world, and I tend to like.
There are some airports. It's like we walking into virtual reality. There are forest hunting in the airports that working and everything, and you're like, what the hell is this real? And it's not. And it's not.
I always follow those kind of documentaries and illustrations and scientific.
Well, I have been fortunate to experience it myself by going to this, and I don't limit. I don't stay in a hotel room. I go in a hotel room to sleep, and I'm out of there. I like to see how the people live, what's going on, what's happening. Take their local transportation, go in their trains.
Different cultures, everything. I like that.
That is what education is all about. Education is not locking yourself in a hotel room and sleeping. That is not visiting a country.
No, at all.
The worst thing to go and visit a country and go in a resort. you don't see the country.
They offer
When
everything.
you go in a resort, they show you what they want you to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a better.
Yeah, you don't get to see what you really were supposed to see.
Right.
You jump in a taxi and you drive with a local man. You walk outside the hotel and you take the hotel taxi. You take a man outside and say, hey man, show me your country. And you see a different country.
It's true. It's so true. That is so true.
You see a totally, show me where you does eat. Carry me where you does eat. I did that in Belize. Tell the guy, say, yeah, what time? You want to stay in a resort and let me go, man. Show me where you does go and thing. And we go on in this restaurant with all the villagers and all the people there and they eating this red bean and rice and a little chicken on this. Man, best food you eat. But that's what the locals eat. I tell them, the same way with Vegas, I say, show me where all in the shop. Now, wait, I don't want the strip, take that call.
Good evening, welcome.
Hi, Dr. Raj. Good evening.
Good evening.
Dr. Raj, while having sex and having great orgasms in my body, I feel my body being treated like a therapy. It's therapeutic. I want you to tell me, it's like healing really. Compare it, if I may ask, than that to a doctor's medicine. He's giving you these medicines, painkillers and all of that. Tell me about real good sex. Is it a great advantage? Because it's like healing for me. Like I can't compare it because I've never had great doctor's medicine. But I'm just asking you, is it a great advantage and how healing it is? Could you elaborate a little more, please, on that?
Well, I can't elaborate right now because it's 3 minutes before program ends.
Yeah, I know.
But what you're saying there with good sex, you do have that feeling, because the chemicals that are released by your brain during sexual intercourse gives you that feelings of euphoria. Nothing else gives you that. There's no drug that will give you that. That's why, they say sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but you notice that sex in front. Sex could give you all the feelings of drug and rock and roll. You could enhance yourself with that. So sex could be taken to that height, and it could give you that feeling.
Because Dr. Raj, can I say, of sex and doctors, medicine, Chinese doctors, ancient book, that when someone is sick, they need sex at that time more important than ever to heal them. Yeah, Dr. Raj,
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a message here that I'm baffled. I know what they're saying here. Anyway, cricket or no?
No.
Still raining?
Yeah, it seems like the rain has spoiled play because at this time it might not start.
Okay, with that, folks, we've reached the end of our program for tonight, Sexplosion. There's no program tomorrow. Tomorrow is Independence. Happy Independence to everyone. I hope you go out and enjoy yourself. Take the family out, look at the fireworks. But please be patriotic. And patriotism does not mean wearing on a red jersey or a red, white, and black. It means the way you behave towards your country and your flag. That's what patriotism means. Your country comes first. In our culture and our religion, it teaches you Desh. Your Desh comes first. Desh is country, your homeland. That comes first. So when people say Hindus are not patriotic, you don't know what you're saying. We are taught from birth that the country in which you are born, is the most important thing. So don't ever think that Hindus are not patriotic. We are very patriotic. Good night.
Dr. Raj. That's it for this evening's edition of Sexplosion, and for the week, as a matter of fact. Dr. Raj will be back next Thursday. Another educational, informal session right here at Power 102.1 FM. Sexplosion, exclusive. Wow, 102. Guys, we'll be back to you tomorrow from 10 in the morning till